You've got to see this beautiful farm behind me here. We are out at Agritopia, and I want to introduce you to Kelly Saxer, who is not just the new lead farmer out here at Agritopia, but the first female lead farmer. So that's pretty cool. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
We are so thrilled to talk to you this morning. This garden is looking gorgeous.
Thank you.
Tell us what you've done.
Oh, well, we've gotten an early start in our planting, so even with the hot temperatures, we were able to get a lot of fall things in there. So we've just been planting and continuing to plant. And we're happy for these cooler temperatures that are on their way.
Yeah, finally cooler temperatures.
Yeah.
So I understand you've planted more plots this year than in seasons past.
We have. We've got about 4 acres of production row crop area, and we're going to plant it out completely this year. So we've got about 2/3 of it planted.
Yeah, it's looking gorgeous. What have you planted? What's growing here, and what are they picking?
Yeah, well, this time of year we have kind of a combination of warm weather and cool weather crops. So we've still got our squashes and cucumbers and black-eyed peas and okra and eggplant and things like that growing. But we've also gotten an early start in planting some of our greens. So we've got our green beans, which they're picking right now, and those are actually a black-eyed pea that we pick early. It makes a nice summer green bean. But we've also got mustard greens and bok choy and kale, and we've even got our first little bit of lettuce mix out there. So we're definitely transitioning into fall. It's a nice time of year because you get a little bit of both. You get some summer and some fall.
Nice. Well, perfect. I'm glad the weather's working for something. Tell us about what is the CSA and why should people support them and how can they here in the Valley?
Yeah, CSA stands for Community Supported Agriculture. And it's the idea that you prepay for a season. You kind of decide you're going to be loyal and commit to a farm for a season, and then in exchange you get a weekly box of vegetables from that farm. So it kind of benefits both. It allows the farm to plan and budget a little bit better with their money and their resources, and then in exchange you know that you're going to get a nice veggie box every week and kind of really get to see what it's like to eat seasonally.
Well, I love that idea. So people can do that obviously if you live out here in this area near Agritopia, but there's places all over the Valley that people can support.
There are. CSA is not a new thing for sure, and so locally or nationally, you can go to localharvest.org and you can type in your zip code or your city, and it'll bring up farms that have CSA programs in your neighborhood. So yeah, we definitely encourage you to support farms in that way, no matter where you are.
Awesome, great idea. Well, thanks so much for having us out here this morning, Kelly. We love talking to you. Congrats on the new gig. I'm no expert, but it looks to me like you're doing a great job. Coming up here in our next hour, we're going to head over to the community garden too, and we're going to talk about what you should be planting this time of year. We're in the Southeast Valley. We are out in Gilbert. We're at Agritopia, where it is a gorgeous morning out here in the community garden. A lot to show you here. I want to take you around this morning the community garden with a tour guide. We have Becky, who's our community coordinator here at the community garden at Agritopia. So tell us how this community garden works. It's such an interesting idea.
Yeah, well, good morning. We have a community garden full of 49 plots. Some of them are 20 by 20 spaces, 10 by 20, and people will lease out their garden plots for about a year. As you can see, we're growing a variety of things. We're coming off of summer, so you're still going to see things like squash, cucumbers, eggplant, and now's the time for greens. So we're transitioning into like our salad mixes, arugula. You could do some roots like beets, radishes, carrots, and green onions. A lot of people are planting their garlic right now too, along with broccoli, cauliflower, and other brassicas.
So people lease this, they're in charge of it, and then they get to keep their harvest and feed their own family.
Correct. Yep. And then we do require them to be organic as well to follow our farm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, really quickly, I want to show some of these raised beds out here because I think it's appealing to a lot of people to build one of these, and you say that's actually pretty easy to do.
Yes, it is. There's a variety of styles that you can do. So some are more low to the ground. This one here is a really great example of a quick and easy setup for a raised bed. You just basically figure out your spot and your space. You'll get your boards, and then places like Home Depot and Lowe's sell these little blocks that have cutouts in it. So you just drop your wood in there, and then you want to fill that bed with soil and some different amendments to help keep your soil healthy.
Yeah, well, you make it sound easy. It almost inspires me to try because these gardens look amazing out here with everything that is blooming. So your fall garden can look beautiful even if we are still waiting on those fall-like temperatures. And so coming up in our next segment, we're actually going to go inside one of the restaurants and show you maybe another motivation to plant things that you can cook with some of these delicious fall veggies. So tell us what you're cooking here and where these delicious vegetables came from.
Absolutely. So we're going to make a veggie curry today, and almost every single ingredient, produce-wise, was grown here at Agritopia Farm. So this is what you would get if you signed up for the CSA at Agritopia Farm this week. So we're going to start with just some coconut oil, and we're going to saute some onions. And then from the farm, I will show you, we have some beautiful green beans from the farm.
We just saw them picking those out there.
Yes, absolutely. We have some mixed squash from the farm as well, some patty pans, some zucchini, some yellow squash. And we have some roasted sweet potatoes. These are actually from Crooked Sky Farm, but you would receive that in your CSA here this week.
I love this idea of getting a box of CSA because if I'm not maybe ambitious enough or don't have that green thumb to grow it, I can still enjoy
Absolutely,
other harvests.
absolutely. I cannot grow anything. I can just, they do the hard work, and then I get to make some fun food with their produce. So this is bok choy, which is also grown at Agritopia Farm. And then we have our turnips, which were also grown here. They're little salad turnips. They're like a little, a little bitey, but a little bit sweet as well once they're cooked.
All right, we've got about a minute left here for our segment.
Okay,
I know it takes
great.
longer than that to cook, but you've got kind of a finished product.
So we're just going to add some curry and some other spices, and then some coconut milk, and
that's kind of your stuff.
That'll turn into like a thick version of the stew. And then I have a finished one right here. Okay. So also from the farm, I have a bowl of kale and some mizuna, just fresh raw. And then we're going to pour this yummy Agritopia Farm veggie curry over the rice and the fresh greens. And the farm also has some cucumbers, so we're going to pickle that, or I pickled those, and we're just going to put those on top with a little bit of Tulsi basil.
Wow, looks amazing and so fresh. Hard to believe all of this was grown out here. We are going to take it to break really quick. But
There you
have
go.
A fork
And
that
yes,
take
I
a
do.
Tell you all how delicious
There
it
you
is.
go.
It smells really good. If you love curry, this might be a dish for you. We'll be right back with more Good Morning Arizona.
Careful, Todd.
I wanted to come out here while we were out here this morning, talk a little bit about the update for the epicenter, because we were out here for the ribbon cutting earlier this year, the very start of 2020, and it was just, a plot of land. And what are we looking at now?
Yeah, so we're really excited to be partnering with the Johnson family on this development. It is the final phase of this Agritopia master plan that was 20 plus years in the making. So we have progressed despite everything that's gone on this year. We've really progressed safely, working with our contractor, our subcontractors. The town of Gilbert's been a great partner for us. So we really held our schedule, and we're out here kind of on a milestone date where we're raising trusses here on the first building. So
I love it. So this is the finished product, and this will be about this time next year.
About this time next year, we plan on opening our first units as well as the first retail spaces. So we'll have about 48,000 feet of retail and 320 residential units.
Oh, can't wait for that. All right, well, we'll have to come back out here then. It's nice to see, though, all the progress that is being made. We will send it back to you guys in the studio. It's been fun to be out here all morning, live from Agritopia.